Daniel, what's up, brother?
Yo, good morning. Thanks for having me back.
Welcome back. Daniel Keller is an internet theorist, writer, and entrepreneur, former founder of New Models, Channel.xyz, and Cloudy Heart with artist John Raffman, and currently working on TamaleStrategy, which, I mean, how do you not want to talk about that? You also lead Metropolis DAO at Tribute Labs focused on AI investments.
All true.
We've talked about all that other stuff before. I think you're like, I'd like to come back on the show. And I'm like, any day, because Daniel just spends time in such interesting parts of the internet that Josh and I were talking, like, what questions do you want to ask? I'm like, I don't fucking care.
So you're like, what can we prompt him with at the very start and just get him going off about all the
Yeah, so I have a good prompt here, Josh.
Okay, there we go.
Because these words just make no sense to, I think anybody who doesn't like deep in this are gonna go, what the fuck are you talking about? So that's a perfect place to start. Tell us about TamaleStrategy and why you and the community want to buy tamales.
I would love to. So it's good. This is going to be like an annoying story about multiple posts and replies to posts. That's the lore, as a lot of these things are, internet lore. But tamales, it's actually the official title of the work is Untitled Drawings Off the Wall, but it is known as tamales because it's a big painting that has the word tamales scrawled over it with oil marker. It's a painting by an artist named Oscar Murillo from 2011. And it's personally significant to me because, so my former life was as a contemporary artist, and we're both unks of almost, I think, the exact same age. We were coming up around the same time. And honestly, I was a bit of a hater of his work because of just, he was really successful. We had very different strategies. I was a kind of part of the post-internet scene, and then he came on doing this very organic, very raw, painterly work that was sort of socially engaged and just had a very different attitude from mine. And it was extremely successful. The market just gobbled it up. He was also critically really successful. But just along with the rest of the art market, it's been in slow decline, I think, since 2016 or so, kind of the last 10 years or so. And this all kind of like came to a head in early 2024. There was an auction, a Phillips auction, where there was a lot of paintings, including this one, up for sale. And many of them went unsold. A lot of them were sold for lower than their primary prices were even. So it was sort of like a total collapse of the millennial painter market. And Dean Kissick, who is a very notable art critic, he wrote about this, and he made the, I think, apt comparison to if you had just bought Milady or some of these other kind of weird NFTs, how you would have performed comparably to investing in this painting. And then Charlotte Fang, the founder of Vermelia, picked up on this. He replied to it, and he kind of just like went off on this painting, making fun of it, and kind of describing it as being emblematic of everything that he rejected about, millennial culture and the art world, and this sort of personal brand building and blah, 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 blah.
Their only legacy is demonstrating the consequences of profaning art, communion with the beyond, into a shrine of nihilistic hedonism. Gets you possessed by the dull-eyed Gooner's brain AIDS demon. Look any of them up. They all have it. Lost generation.
Charlotte can talk. Charlotte can talk.
He's a poster. Say what you will about him, but he's definitely a poster. I'm glad that you had that on tap, because I didn't. But yeah, so it was a very good. It's a good post. Let's say it was enough to spark a movement. Around the same time, this is when Pump.fun launched. I was just playing around with it. This was actually the first thing that I launched on it, just as a bit of an experiment, because I thought, maybe we can kind of bridge the gap between the millennial unks and the Zoomers on Solana. And it didn't. It went okay. It went okay, but it actually didn't bond for several months. And it wasn't until November of last year. I don't exactly remember what happened, but there was some other kind of movement that happened online, and it bonded, and there was a big hype. It got to over 1 million, which was 10 times the valuation of the painting, which was a nice emblem of sort of how hyper gambling and attention economy arbitrage had supplanted painting as, the most exciting cultural form. And yeah, I launched it on Pump because it was immediately clear to me when Pump.fun launched that this was an important cultural institution. And I would argue maybe the most important new cultural institution of the 2020s. I think, like, yes, there's a crassness. There's vulgar. There's lots of scams. All the things that you would say are problems with it, I think, are part of what makes it so important and so emblematic of culture today. And so I kind of just think it's, the perfect vehicle for something like this. But the issue was with the original coin, there was no trading fee sharing mechanism for creators or anything yet on Pump. And that was introduced relatively recently. The coin kind of languished. There was no real way for us to buy the painting like we wanted to. And so it made sense to kind of relaunch it now. And in the shadow of the punk strategy and the general kind of strategy meta, I thought it made sense to just try that out, but with a more manual, personal envoy involved that would handle the painting as opposed to a smart contract. So yeah.
What else is up there with Pump as the most important cultural institution of the 2020s?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I also think that Remilia and Milady are very important. I don't know if they're cultural institutions, but I think as artworks, it is really hard to argue against it. And I think the fact that they've been largely ignored by the institutional art world seems to really bother Charlotte and bother them in general. And I think it's unfair, and I think it will take time for them to catch up. But eventually, the remnants of the trad art world will, I think, be forced to grapple with all of the exciting culture that has been generated online without their sort of purview.
It's so interesting because I think you look back and see this dynamic playing out, over history, and yet the resistance in the moment seems to be like an immovable part of that. Like maybe it's probably that resistance itself that actually makes the ultimate breakthrough of the more edge intrigues.
Yeah,
into
definitely.
mainstream.
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of require the previous system needs to break apart kind of first, and that's happening now. And I think then they will sort of be scrambling for novelty again once that happens. I just kind of hope that this can be a sort of like an art history lesson for DGens online a little bit, and just a way of kind of bridging these two worlds.
So do you guys buy the painting? Is that
No, not yet, but that is the goal. So we only have a few thousand in the treasury. So what happened with the painting is it didn't sell at auction, but it did sell afterwards to a private buyer. And the way these things work, this is not on chain. This is all private. I had to hit up the Phillips representative. He can't tell me who the buyer is, but he is willing to broker the sale for the right price. So I don't even know actually exactly what it's going to cost. It's going to be a negotiation. It's all completely different than on chain, but I kind of like that. So yeah, it will require, token holders to trust me to carry out this transaction. Obviously I'm doing it under my name and my face. I'm not planning on stealing either the money or the painting.
See Keller running down Broadway with
painting. It would be pretty funny. But no, that's
you're gonna go do it with fees, I imagine. So what do you need to go do to like 100x the volume on this thing?
Well, that's a good question. I'm hoping that this appearance will be the first start.
There we go.
We definitely are going to keep, I think this is going to be the start of a new push with some meme contests. We have songs, we have videos, we have a lot of stuff that's been kind of just on the back burner. There's also just a big community. I think are really good posters, and I'm hoping they're going to come out, and there's going to be a Tamales army, and we're going to buy the painting. Once we do, TBD what we do with it. The community will decide. I will have the final say, but I will make sure that the community is heard. One possibility is donating it to Remilia so that it could be put in their lobby of their headquarters in Orange County. That's one possibility. We'll see. I think there could be other institutional donations or things like that could make sense as well. Maybe it could tour. Maybe there could be, every token holder just gets a chance, sort of like the Stanley Cup. We'll see. Yeah.
Good reference.
Cup
Thank you for that.
Let's go.
That's exactly where my head went. I'm shocked that you went there too.
I'm from Detroit. We had it at one point in the past.
Oh, brother, sorry to hear. I mean, maybe you could looking a little, some signs of life out of Detroit this year.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm
a Leafs
reindustrialized conference and some sports as well. Yeah,
we
sure.
love it. Right. And I'm also shocked that Remilia Corp has a headquarters in Orange County. It was not the place.
I think there's an Orange County maximalist argument to be made. I'm not quite there yet, but maybe I'll move my family down there. We'll see.
Okay, what's the steel man for Orange County? Because I've been there.
It's kind of, ultimate suburbia. It's close to
Okay.
a lot of, American dynamism startup stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's
Good
fair.
schools. There's kind of Irvine is a student town, away from some of the chaos of LA, but with a lot of the weather. I think that's the idea anyway.
All right, so this is on Pump. Do you guys have a site up? Like, where are people?
Yes, there is a site. It's tamales2.fun, and I think that's right. I might have made that wrong, but if not, I will post the accurate domain. If not, just follow me on Twitter, DNLKLR, and I will tell you all about it.
Tamales2.fun, almost 2,500 in the treasury accumulated from fees so far, 2.3% complete. Got a nice little market.
A long way to go, but I think we're going to do it.
I mean, we love being early to things. I think the whole point is just you get to hear the absurdity of the vision that people like you have and the confidence that you're going to go get it. And
I mean, when I see a 50K market cap and someone committed to doing something interesting, I get intrigued.
Exactly.
a nice
I locked
buy
up some of the supply. 8% of the supply is locked. We're good to go. It's going to happen.
Charts,
Very funny.
You're in accumulation.
We're in accumulation for sure. Definitely. Price discovery is the follow. Yeah.
So fresh. We love it. All right. I mean, a nice big buy button here right in the middle of the screen too, over to the most important cultural institution of the 2020s.
Exactly.
Fun UI and or app. All right, Daniel, welcome back anytime, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me talk about random stuff like this. I appreciate it.
Our brother.
We love it. The internet loves it, which is why
it's definitely yeah.
I'm here. See ya. Bye.
Peace.